Hi class, we are group 17. My name is Tianchen Huang. I want to briefly present a data set for part 1 of the final project. The data set is created for a watch company called Versati Dura Watch Company. Versati Dura Watch Company has projected their annual watch sales amount for 2018. This data set is sorted into 6 groups. First, by watch type, chronograph, automatic and digital. Second, by watch feature, platinum, gold, and palladium. Third, by watch embellishment, diamond, jade, amber, sapphire, crystal, ruby, moissanite, and emerald, which are all precious stones. Fourth, by watch case shape, octagon, oval, square, round, and heart. Fifth, by watch band types. There are 2, bracelet and stripe. 6, by watch gender, unisex, female and male. The purpose of analyzing this dataset is to solve 3 business questions discovered in this project sales report. The first question is which watch type is the best seller in 2018 using total 2018 sales by feature spreadsheet. From the pivot table, total 2018 sales by feature, the digital type of watches is the best seller among 3 types of watches. The other 2 types, automatic and chronograph. Additionally, the digital group of watches achieves the highest sales in each watch feature group, including platinum, gold, and palladium, reinforcing the digital type of watches is the best seller in 2018. Using the pivot chart to further analyze this dataset, the digital type of watches has the highest clustered column among other columns. In other horizontal subgroups, gold, palladium, and platinum shown on the pivot chart, the digital type of watches reaches the highest sales column in each subgroup. The second question is, what is the relationship between embellishment and the number of watches sold in 2018 using popularity by embellishment spreadsheet? Watches are valuable items, hard to depreciate. Identifying the most popular embellishment helps Versati and Dura more accurately predict what the trend in watch business would be in the next year. In the pivot table, popularity by embellishment, diamond embellishment and jade embellishment have the equal amount sold in 2018. The only difference is the diamond embellishment watches have bracelet watch band, and the jade embellishment watches have strap watch band. Moreover, the watches with amber embellishment or with ruby or sapphire come in second place in terms of the total amount of watches sold in 2018. The least popular watches based on the pivot chart are the watches with emerald embellishment. Third, the third question is how would customers respond to a watch gender type based on the shape of watch case and the type of watch band used. Using the third pivot table, called total 18 sales by watch gender sheet. The unisex watch type with octagon watch case shape with the leading watch type highlighted in green in the pivot table. People tend to favor unisex watch, especially when the watch case is octagon. Shown in the previous chart, peaked close to $60,000 in the annual sales. Noticeably, unisex watches take the largest portion of the total sales of 2018. One of the reasons that customers have preference in unisex watches could be these type of watches are universal to men and women, having a more broad customer basis than designated gender watches. Male watches with round case have the second highest annual sales, which is the only type of watches reaching slightly over $3,000 in the total sales of 2018. In 2018, the total annual sales of the male watches is the second largest part of the total sales in 2018. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Maria Ceballos and I will be discussing part 2 of our data. As you can see on the spreadsheets, the sections in orange describe what the company's intentions are, and underneath you would see our analysis being performed. First and foremost, I began by creating a pivot table and drawing the information from the all watch type worksheet and creating the information necessary for this goal seek analysis. So because I was interested in the information for the female demographic, I went ahead and created this data table with that information in hand. And what was being analyzed was based on what women bought for the prior month. We wanted to know what was being sold the most and what was the preference. So based on the watch type, which are automatic, chronograph, and digital, what were the features that were preferred? So in this case is the metal used for that watch. So was it a gold, palladium, or platinum watch? So as you can see, our company, Versati and Dura Watch Company, wanted to increase their sales from the prior month by 20%. In this data table, you can see the totals of this raw data, and here are the calculations of what a 20% increase would look like. And in this data table is where the goal seek analysis was performed. Is that in the what if analysis section drop down, you would select the goal seek, and I'm just going to move this over. The set sale would be the one, the cell with the total monthly sales, as that is the set amount, and what we would be changing or inputting in the to value would be the 6 watches for the automatic watch line that would need to be sold for us to meet that 20% increase based on last month's sale. And by changing cell here, we would just select, in this case you can see that all the numbers are the same, 2 and 2. Just the number that changed in this scenario was how many automatic gold watches will need to be sold to reach our goal, and so forth. It was done for each watch type. Moving on to the next data table, spreadsheet data tables. The data tables are very useful, especially for a finance and operations department, because they would be able to quickly be able to find out what is their best option and what is more suitable for that company's desires at the moment. So Again, based on the information in the orange boxes above, we can see that for the one variable data table, Versati and Dura Watch Company would like to add more embellishments to their watches, and therefore they would seek a $150,000 loan. This information is given, which I just created. So for $150,000 loan amount, their interest rate of yearly 2% with a 30-year term. I calculated the payment using the PMT function on Excel, and then with that information, I'm able to calculate this one variable data table, which is done again through the what if analysis. In the drop down, you would select data table, and there is no row input for one variable data table. Instead, in the column, you would select B5 in this case, which is what is being represented. What changes is the interest rate. And then you press OK, and Excel will populate these possible payments if you choose a $150,000 loan for 4%, a 30-year term. This is how much you will be paying on a monthly basis, and so for each possible scenario. Likewise occurs for a two variable data table. Here we do have a second variable. So as in the last case, we do have differentiations in interest rates and in principal. So in what our loan amount is. So based on the information provided, we are able to now create a data table with our row input in this case will be the loan amount. So here we would select cell G4, and the column input will now be press OK, and the data is then populated by Excel. This is excellent in that it shows you quickly what is necessary, and then based on the preferences of the company, they can draw a conclusion. Moving on to the next spreadsheet on scenarios, and I'm sorry about that. Let me just close my messages. So on scenario, it's great because it quickly allows you to toggle between information without moving from a spreadsheet. And the way that this is done is again on the what if analysis, the drop down under scenario manager. One, we would need to first create the scenario. So we would name the scenario and then select what are the changing cells. So the changing cells are going to be the name of the department, sales, and the expenses required. You'll go ahead and create that. Once you create it, then it'll be up here. So right now we see the finance, budget, forecast, and if we want to move it on to the marketing, we can quickly just select that, press show, and close, and that way you see the budget without moving from spreadsheet. All of these three tools in the what if analysis, the scenario manager, the go seek, and the data table are extremely useful and insightful in that they all provide efficiency to any company, and could be used in many different forms. As you can see, the information that is being required from the company is always being responded to based on the requirements, based on the abilities that Excel can do, and it's very buildable upon whatever it is that such and such company or the differentiations in times might require. So these 3 tools are extremely informative, insightful, and great to be used by any company. Thank you so much for listening.